It's April and it's time for another economic update with Monroe Bank and Trust. Hi there, it's My 98.3's Ryan Nutter alongside President and CEO of Monroe Bank and Trust, Doug Chafin. Doug, good to see you.
Ryan, good to see you as always.
So, any changes in our economy since last we saw you?
You know, not really. We continue that slow, steady progress that we've always been talking about locally and at the national level. Unemployment is hovering around 7%. Statewide, it's about 8%. So, still that slow, steady improvement.
Now, I understand that last week you were in Washington, D.C. So, can you tell us what that was about, and is there anything you'd like to share from that visit?
Sure. Every year at this time, the American Bankers Association hosts a government relations summit in Washington, and about 1,000 bankers from throughout the country converge on Washington. We have meetings with congressional leadership, some of our federal regulators and governmental officials, and we talk about the importance that the banking industry has to our economy and hopefully ways to improve the economy as a result of that.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Consumer protection is a really, really hot issue, and particularly credit card fraud, debit card fraud, ATM fraud, something that we're very closely attuned to. Less than 8% of the fraud instances throughout the country occurs at banks. We have a lot of protections in place. Less so for the nation's largest retailers. If you think back to a couple of months ago, the Target breach of their debit card and credit card services was a significant issue. Banks bear the brunt of that cost and of making the consumer whole for that. So we advocate that it's a shared responsibility. Retailers benefit for the most part for that service that's provided. They need to share in the responsibility of protecting consumers' information. And so that's what we're trying to get Congress to understand and to get that shared responsibility in place.
It's the April edition of the My 98.3 Monroe Bank and Trust Economic Update. Ryan Nutter, Doug Chafin. How are things going here at the bank?
Very well, thank you, Ryan. Things continue to progress well. Monroe Bank and Trust, we're completing a very successful capital raise that we initiated at the end of the year.
Okay.
We are still looking for loans. Loan volume and loan demand is still relatively soft right now. So we look for ways to improve and to advocate the services that we provide for consumer loans, for residential mortgage loans, for commercial loans. And just this past Monday, we opened a new mortgage center in downtown Monroe at 11 Washington Street. Most of our local residents remember that as the old Lesky building. We bought that building about a year ago, renovated over the last several months. It's a beautiful facility. So if you're in the market for a new mortgage, or if you're looking to refinance your existing mortgage, stop by and see us. We'd be happy to help.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Ryan.
Thank you very much. President and CEO of Monroe Bank and Trust, Doug Chafin. For WMIM, I'm Ryan Nutter. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, as always, you can get more at mbandt.com.